Tail of the tape, Caleb Plant only 27 years old, but Feigenbutz, a young man, again turned pro at the age of 16. He's still only 24. Caleb Plant with the height advantage, reach is the same. Plant is a celebrated amateur. Feigenbutz, no amateur experience, but has a shot at the pro title tonight.
My name is Vincent Feigenbutz.
And on that right lands.
I'm 24 years old from Germany.
Solid shot.
My nickname is KO King.
Oh,
Tonight, I'm going for my 32nd win.
what a fight.
I am Vincent Feigenbutz.
And there is Vincent Feigenbutz, 31-2, 28 of his wins by knockout. Again, an 8-year pro, no amateur career. His last bout with his 8th round stoppage win. Lennox, he is a conventional fighter, but he is committed to the body attack, and again, his punch output is quite high, so he's not as fluid or slick as a lot of other fighters in this weight class, but he's determined and he's very strong.
Yeah, I mean, when you have no amateur background, you know, you never went to the Olympics, you never went to no amateur tournaments around the world. You actually started out as a pro, and more pro guys are really just in there trying to throw that power punch, and they're more stable. They're not moving around as much because, like I said, he never had no amateur career, so he didn't know about that movement.
Vincent Feigenbutz ready to go?
Yeah.
The champion Caleb Plant ready right now.
My name is Caleb Plant,
Sweet hand.
originally from Nashville.
Bang! Inside is Caleb Plant.
My nickname is Sweet Hand.
Left hook by Caleb Plant.
I'm undefeated, and tonight I'm going for my 20th win.
After measuring, now he's delivering. Down goes the champ.
I'm Caleb Plant.
Big moment, obviously, for Caleb Plant. Look at this crowd in Nashville. By the way, I think you saw the gentleman there over the left shoulder of Caleb. That is Caleb's grandfather, Boyd Plant. He got special permission to have his grandfather be able to walk in with him and share in this moment. Caleb's father, Richie Plant, is one of his trainers. Here now, Caleb Plant coming home to Nashville. He said he remembers being a little kid here in Nashville and dreaming of fighting in the biggest arena. Here he is right now. He said, I've worked my whole life for this. Now he gets his chance. 19-0, second title defense at 168 pounds. Main event, world title on the line. We go to the ring, and Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bridgestone Arena here in Music City, USA, as Premier Boxing Champions presents the World Championship featured attraction of the evening, brought to you by Sweet Hands Promotions and TGB Promotions in association with Team Sauerland, sponsored by MGM Resorts and Brooklyn Boxing. This bout is sanctioned by the IBF, the president, Daryl Peoples. Introducing our 3 judges, scoring from ringside, David Hudson, Mike Fitzgerald, and Benoit Roussel. All right, fans, here we go with a bout you've all been waiting for. 12 rounds of boxing for the IBF Super Middleweight Championship of the World. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Nashville, Tennessee, it's time. Main event of the evening. Introducing to you first the challenger on my right, fighting out of the red corner, entering the ring wearing black trunks with gold and white trim, hailing from Karlsruhe, Baden-Württemberg, Germany. He weighed in at already 165 1/4 pounds. With a record of 31 wins and 2 losses, he has 28 big wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the hard-hitting IBF mandatory super middleweight world rank contender. Tonight making his U.S. debut, please welcome the former super middleweight champion of the world, known as the KO King, introducing Vincent Feigenbutz. And his opponent across the ring, the defending champion in the blue corner, tonight making his homecoming appearance. Entering the ring wearing dark blue trunks, fighting out of and proudly representing Nashville, Tennessee. He weighed in at 166 3/4 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign in the ring with a record of 19 wins, no losses, 11 of his wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, he is making the second defense of his title. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the undefeated, reigning, and defending IBF Super Middleweight Champion of the World, introducing Sweet Hands, Caleb Plant. And introducing to you our third man to the ring, the referee in charge of the action, Malik Waleed.
Okay, fellas, you both have been given the rules. I'm expecting good, clean boxing. When I say break, stop punching, take a full step back. Remember, protect yourselves at all times. And look here, I'm gonna allow work from here and up. On this end, your lower high, I'm gonna allow some work in here. Anything below, nothing. We clear? Touch them up. Good luck to you both.
Ready now for the main event. Tonight's odds provided by Fox Bet. If you bet $100 on the favorite, that's Caleb Plant, you would get a payout of $104. If you bet $100 on the underdog, that's Vincent Feigenbutz, you would win $1,100 with a payout of $1,200. Ready to go here in the main event. Caleb Plant, again, first pro fight in Tennessee. He comes back to Nashville as a world champion. Comes off a commanding performance last June, knocking out Mike Lee. Joe Goose, and he's just a patient, accurate, hard-working fighter, and you would expect him to be the favorite here against Feigenbutz tonight.
Without a doubt, not only paid, but he's fast, and he throws in combinations when need be.
First round scheduled for the Championship 12 here at the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee. Brian Kenny, Joe Goose, and Lennox Lewis here ringside. Heidi Androl and Marcos Villegas with us as well as Caleb Plant opens up. Again, he is patient, but he is quick with the jab. Lennox, he prefers to be accurate and sting and hurt rather than overcome you with volume.
Yeah, I mean, he's an accurate puncher, so he's got to make do with these punches. They're going to be really hard and fast when he's throwing them, because that's what everybody's expecting. I mean, Feigenbutz knows that he's quick, knows that he's fast, so he can't waste punches. He's got to be careful in there.
Feigenbutz, only 24 years old. Again, he has 2 pro losses, but he hasn't lost since he was 20 years old. And even in that fight where he got stopped, he was still on his feet. He is a sturdy, rugged guy.
That he is, Brian. But I got to tell you, the size difference, I think, is really obvious here.
Yeah, and range, too. Look at the wingspan for Plant, able to spring in and hit him with a right hand to the body.
Feigenbutz looks more like a middleweight to me as opposed to a legitimate 68-pounder here with Caleb Plant. And Caleb Plant leaves that left hand low, but he dares you to come in and throw a right hand because he'll whip that hook right over it. He's really good with that.
And Plant able to land that jab to the body. That's a good scoring shot. You can see already outlanding Feigenbutz by a pretty wide margin. Also landing the right hand to the body again.
And you're right, Joe. Feigenbutz is definitely bulkier, but the bulkier brings less speed. So he doesn't really have those speed muscles. He's got those strength, power muscles.
And that he does have. We both watched tape on the guy, and he's got a great right hand. So, I don't care who you are. If you get hit by a solid right hand, even especially from a guy who's got 28 knockouts, you're going to feel it, get hurt, or possibly get knocked out. But the chances are slim right now because of like I said, just the experience that Caleb Plant has and the high IQ he brings to the ring.
And Feigenbutz able to have some success there, able to land a right hand after the jab. And to move forward, he normally really commits to a body attack. It might be difficult to do that at this range, the range that Plant is establishing. Normally he will just plunge in and throw a high number of punches. If you check their normal work rate for CompuBox, Feigenbutz throws a lot more punches. But again, styles make fights. He's not going to come in here and be able to throw the same amount of punches he would against lesser competition.
No, I mean, he's come a long way. I mean, he has to get warmed up a little bit. He's fighting out of his country for the first time. And, he's coming over here for the win. He wants this title badly. He wants to make history.
Caleb Plant is able to find a home for that right hand to the body. He's been able to do that all through the round. A very good, solid first round for the champion. As for Vincent Feigenbutz, again, coming out of Karlsruhe, Germany, he has fought, again, 33 professional fights in an 8-year professional career, but most of his fights in Germany, 28 so far in his home nation. He's had 2 fights in England as well. Wait, we'll travel back. It's like Indiana Jones. He'll travel back over to Poland. He had 2 fights there and has had 1 fight in Hungary as well. All bouts, though, so far in Europe. His first fight in the United States here tonight. And again, we may have mentioned this earlier. Wow, they went the other way, too. I thought they'd fly the other way. I'm surprised. Anyway, they brought their own water. They were worried about, can we find good food and all of that. And actually, the last German-born fighter to win a world title on U.S. soil, you got to go back to Max Schmeling, 1930 at Yankee Stadium. And it was a disqualification when Jack Sharkey hit him low. But you got to go back to Max Schmeling.
Yeah, Joe actually seen that fight.
No, I still have the ticket stuff.
Did you agree with the DQ, Joe?
No. In fact, I was yelling at the referee.
I'm sure you were. Hey, young Joe Goosen. Get lost, kids. Sell some papers. Round number 2 here, main event. Caleb Plant looked good in that early round. What do you think on the whole, Lennox?
I thought that was a good feeling out round for both guys. And, hopefully in this round, obviously, Caleb's starting the work off a lot quicker than before, than the first round.
Yeah, he came right out with that jab, and that was a lightning quick jab.
Yeah, he came out and threw a nice combination just to, he's, like Lennox said, he's starting to get warmed up. And look, Feigenbutz is going to probably do the same thing. He's going to probably start trying to make a move, maybe to his detriment, because like that's what I'm talking about. Like quick left hand.
Answer already, and then a little bit of few markings over the left eye of Feigenbutz as he's taken some hard shots already.
Yep.
That's Plant, not electrifying power, but hard thudding power, Joe. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he will hurt you. He'll sting you with those shots.
He will. And look, I mean, you say he may not have a lot of power, but a champion like Uzcategui, he put down with that quick left hand. His speed interprets into power, and he's powerful enough that with that speed, it makes it doubly effective. Not only that, you saw Caleb Plant throw that left hook, and he went right into a left uppercut afterwards within a hair of a second. He's really fast.
Mentioned earlier in the broadcast, he does. Look at that hook.
Oh,
the hook, and Feigenbutz
he's hurt.
Is driven back immediately. Plant just seems to be getting better and better. A student of the game. And already Feigenbutz backing up, and he looks stunned.
Let me tell you one thing about Feigenbutz right now. His head is in one spot. It's not like he's moving it from side to side. This is what happens with European fighters. They keep their head in one place. Hands up. His hands up. He's good. He's doing good defense. but he's got to throw some punches. Right now, he's not throwing enough punches. Caleb's throwing all the punches.
And a sharp jab again from Caleb Plant. And Lennox, to a point we made earlier, he's not coming over from Europe as we see many European fighters with 300 amateur fights. He's got 0 amateur fights.
Now I will say, Feigenbutz, we've watched tape on him, and he's tough as nails. You saw that he took that abuse, and he's determined to come back as best as he can. He keeps his hands up. He may not be moving his head a lot, but he keeps his hands up. And you got to be careful. He's a knockout puncher. And it's early in the fight, and he's still strong.
Oh, you'd be worried about a counter, Joe?
Look, the closer you get to a puncher, the more dangerous it gets. If I'm in the corner, I'd just say keep him on the end of your punches. Keep doing what you're doing. You don't need to close the gap too close to this guy.
Big round.
Not yet.
Plant. He has just looked terrific. Picking his shots. He's able to hurt and drive Feigenbutz back. Feigenbutz, again, very tough guy, able to come in here, weather that storm. But Caleb Plant just looks terrific. Final seconds, round number 2. Caleb Plant up in the ante, putting his foot down on the pedal, and impress here in Nashville. Caleb Plant in round number 2. Lennox able to throw with length and pop as well against Feigenbutz.
Yeah, I mean, Feigenbutz showed good defense, but Caleb was able to get through with some straight, accurate punches. And one thing Feigenbutz is doing is like he took his eye off of Caleb. You can't take your eye off of him.
Here's that left hook right at the end of the round that Feigenbutz landed right on the belt line, and Caleb adjusted his shorts right afterwards. You know, because you're going to feel that no matter what. He's a heavy-handed guy, Feigenbutz. So, you know, like I say, you got to be careful. Even if you're dominating a guy like this, he's a one-punch knockout guy. So you got to be careful and really take him apart before you go in for the kill.
Look at Plant already starting off with an impressive flurry. Beautiful work here in the opening seconds. Able to establish himself in the early seconds of the second round and once again here in the third. That is Jordan Plant, formerly Jordan Hardy, part of our broadcast team here on Fox. Not tonight, obviously.
Well, she sang the national anthem today, and I was blown away by how good she was, right?
Did a tremendous job as well, and now married to Caleb Plant. And Caleb, top of the world, and here in Nashville, again, in front of his fans, staying focused and doing his work. And we mentioned it's cliche, but he's an honest, hard-working fighter. He says he stays in shape year-round, so by the time Lennox he gets into camp, like he's in shape and ready to go. It's a matter of fine-tuning and then trying to make improvements.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to stay in top shape all the time, even when you don't have a fight coming up. You have to find out, okay, if I've got 15 weeks for the fight, then you have to kind of tailor your workout to be able to peak by the 15th week, and he's got a great trainer to do that.
Great combination by Plant. Feigenbutz trying to block those shots, but he's a stationary target.
He is, and Caleb has split the gloves a few times on him. But Feigenbutz keeps his hands up good. He keeps on coming. He's a determined guy. And, you know, he's not just backing down and laying down here. He came here to win this fight. And Caleb's going to have to work to beat this guy. And if he wants to stop him, he's going to have to really work hard.
And there's a long way to go in this fight, so he's really got to be careful too. You know, he's doing the right things. He's winning the early rounds, which is important, but he's got to always stay focused.
Well, this seems to be a class difference, but you're right, Lennox, in that if we've learned nothing else tonight with Diego Magdaleno and then also with Abel Ramos, with 1 second to go in the 12th round, stopping Brian Perella. If we learn nothing else, you got to pay attention every second and the full fight. Feigenbutz driven back and he's hurt. A hook lands by Plant and the right foot goes up for Feigenbutz. He's hurt. He's getting rocked.
He got hurt by a jab to start that off with, Brian.
And he gets a lot behind that jab. Full leverage from Plant.
Yeah, he hurt him with the jab and he followed up with that great combination. He's so fast. It's good.
Nashville fans with the USA chant.
This guy didn't have it bad enough.
Wow, an uppercut lands and then a hook. Beautiful combinations from Caleb Plant.
Caleb Plant is determined. This is his hometown. He doesn't want to look bad.
Final seconds of round 3. Beautiful performance so far by the champion. A man who says he wants to unify. He wants to take on everyone in this division. And right now, Joe, you thought he was the best guy at 168. He's certainly making a case for that tonight.
Man, he's already got Feigenbutz bloodied up right now. Here we go. Here's the jab downstairs, right hand, and then a hook off the arm. But look how fast that went. See those arm punches? That arm punches just open it up. Here's that jab that stunned him. That's the one that really hurt him. See, you see him buckle right there. He doesn't stand up very quickly because he's buckled. And Caleb notices that, and he goes in for this flurry right here. Here's the last flurry. It was a little uppercut hook. See, he threads the needle, then he goes around. He'll come back from the other side. Like I said, his IQ in the ring is so good. His hands are so fast, and he's got a great variety of punches that he uses in succession. He's a great fighter, man. And he's only got 19 fights.
Absolutely. I mean, Caleb Plant says he is focused on greatness.
And, you know, this is Feigenbutz's first American opponent. So, you know, he's used to fighting guys that are similar to him. Basically throw punches and block. And throw punches and block. This is a man, Caleb, moves around and shows you different angles.
The funny thing is Feigenbutz has been fighting 2 years longer than Caleb Plant as a professional.
But Plant has that amateur career.
Yes.
He's a national Golden Gloves champion,
right.
97 amateur wins. And you can see, again, the pedigree at work. Plant immediately goes to work, round number 4. Heidi Androl standing by in one of the corners. Heidi, where are you?
I'm over in Caleb's corner, Justin. He has established himself early in every single round, looking sharp, as you said. What would you like to see more of from him?
Nothing more. Maybe finishing his combinations with a few more jabs. Other than that, he's looking great. I don't want him to do more than he needs to do. I don't want him to use more energy than he needs to be using. I want him to be economical, but everything I see so far, I'm happy with.
This is the game plan right now?
Absolutely. And to make adjustments as needed throughout the fight, and we'll continue to do that. But other than that, I'm really happy with what I'm seeing from Caleb right now. He's in complete control, and that's what we want.
Absolutely. All right, thanks so much, Justin, guys.
Justin Gamber had said that Caleb Plant had looked terrific all through the camp. Fellas, he said, I'm excited to see how good he's going to look on Saturday night. And he absolutely looks fantastic. Again, he's got a very stationary opponent in front of him. He's a strong, sturdy guy, but he's not lightning fast. But this is all Plant can do. And Joe, you've been in the corner a few times. This is the best possible thing you can say is the guy sits down and you say, beautiful work. I mean, that's what he's doing.
That's right. And you heard his trainer just say, I don't want him doing any more than he's doing, because he realizes, he would say, hey, I need him to go in for the knockout if he thought this guy wasn't dangerous. He still thinks this guy is dangerous enough to have enough respect to have Caleb Plant keep boxing, being smart, and then, you chip away at a guy like this until you finally get to him and then take him out. And that could happen maybe 7th, 8th round.
Yeah, that's true, Joe. Caleb could probably go forward if he wants to. I think it is a bit too early for him to go forward. But he's doing the right thing. Let a couple rounds go by and warm up even more.
Again, remember the fight where he took the title against Wisconsin. Again, it was Gamber who said, hey, let's just use as much as you have to, because in the late rounds, Plant was kind of gassed. He lost a lot of those late rounds, got bloodied up a little bit, but he had put enough rounds in the bank to win that fight and win the world title.
Yeah.
But it is smart. He boxed this lots of time, 12 rounds.
Well, he was fighting a world champion that was a legitimate 68-pounder, #1, much bigger guy, and very qualified, had a lot of skills himself.
Feigenbutz there misses with the right hand. Plant able to get out of the way very easily from that. That gives you an idea of the defense. There's a good stick by Plant.
Yeah, a couple great jabs.
Yeah,
it just comes right out like it just poleaxes him, Lennox.
The jab looks sweet. Sweet hand, baby.
I tell you can't help but watch this and wonder, hey, Callum Smith is the Ring Magazine champ. David Benavides has a title. He's got heavy hands. And by the way, Canelo has no opponent so far. I'm just saying, this guy is out there. He is peaking, and he looks tremendous here in his hometown tonight. Caleb Plant in the corner right now, and if you know some of his story, he has dealt with tragedy. He lost his daughter Aaliyah at 19 months back in 2015 to a rare disease. He promised that he would take a world title belt after he won it, that he would win it and then bring it to her. This is heartbreaking to watch, obviously, but Caleb bringing it to the gravesite of his daughter. Again, she passed away, Aaliyah, in 2015. He wants to honor his daughter, honor her memory. There's his father, Richie, behind him. So he is focused. He says, I do everything for my family. I need to provide for them, and I want to be great for them. It's a lot on his shoulders, but he is fulfilling that, Joe.
I don't even know if the word heartbreaking is enough.
Been through a lot in his life, but he has maintained his focus and he has risen to the top of the boxing world. Great performance so far, but it's a long way to go against a very game Vincent Feigenbutz of Germany. There in the black trunks, opening combination by Plant again with the blue trunks with the blue trim. See the body shots landed by Plant, 18-7. Good disparity so far. Look, he's just whitewashing this every single round. It's just a matter of how good he will look, and can Feigenbutz stick around without getting too badly hurt?
Well, I got to tell you, he'll probably be around for a while because he's keeping his hands up really well, keeping them in. He's blocking, you know, the wider shots that that Caleb's throwing. I think Caleb's going to start going up the middle a little bit. After he touches the body with that left uppercut, keep threatening the middle with that right hand right through the gloves, because he does keep his hands up, and I'm talking about Feigenbutz very well. He protects himself well. He's got a good self-preservation mechanism that served him well through 8 years of boxing.
Yeah, the only problem with that, when you keep your hands up like that, some of the punches you can't see. And Caleb is doing the right thing by mixing up the punches. You know, not being a headhunter, he's hitting the bodies, hitting both sides. So he's giving him a lot of different things to be worried about.
Good hard shots there. Seems reasonably straightforward so far, but let's check in with Marcos Villegas. Marcos, what do you have so far?
I have 40-36. Caleb Plant's looking spectacular right now. He's mixing his offense to the top and the body, which is scoring very cleanly. And, you know, the speed of Caleb Plant is really killing Feigenbutz. You know, he has to throw punches to win these rounds, and I think, you know, there's a bit of a worry there. If he throws a punch, he'll get caught with something big.
Marcos, thank you very much. He's winning every round. Just a matter of how sharp Plant can stay through these rounds, because it does take immense concentration to stay and fight at this level.
And focus. I mean, you know, it's a 12-round fight, and a lot of people forget that. You know, they can say he's winning 5 rounds, but he's got to win the rest of the rounds as well.
Now, Feigenbutz just ran Caleb back a little bit. 2 misses and 1 landed. A nice stiff jab at the end of the 2 miss combo. But I think once Caleb starts walking Feigenbutz back, and that starts to happen, I think that's when Feigenbutz will really get into trouble.
Feigenbutz now trying with the jab, and Plant able to get away from that defensively. You can see, and to your point that you made earlier, Joe, this does look like a true super middleweight against a guy with a middleweight build. Yep. Feigenbutz, again, very conventional, very predictable, very sturdy, strong. We'll give him enough credit. And again, he does reasonably well defensively with his hands up, but he's fighting a world champion tonight.
Listen, when you turn pro at 16, all they're thinking about is building your body up. So you can tell this is years of being built up.
Final seconds here, round number 5. Caleb Plant having his way tonight, second title defense. We will not be stepping aside. We're going to keep it right here, and we'll be able to go to the corners and listen in. Again, great work by Caleb Plant here, winning most every round, seemingly winning every round fairly easily.
You know what I mean? Like you're doing a lot, and then you're finishing not as much. Right? Try to get a better balance between, you know, with your output each round. And then you feel good when you get out there and you want to start around. It's round 5. Round 5 coming up. Good job. You're doing great, man. You can do this stuff all day long. You can do this in your sleep. I feel great. Hey, you're in complete control. Keep doing what you're doing. Make a good balance of everything, all right? Now more combinations at the beginning of the round, all right? Not fewer at the end. Just a good balance all the way around. Keep working that stick up and down. Keep busting them up. You're doing great, man.
Look at that. You're doing great, and Caleb Plant saying the main thing, I feel great.
Yeah.
Like the one thing, like, I feel terrific. And that's all you need to say, conserving the energy, put all the energy into the ring, and those sharp combinations.
Listen, if he feels great now, he's going to feel great even better.
Don't leave it. You know, I also think, I saw something in the last round when Caleb got back into his own corner. I think he's much better on the inside. We haven't seen it yet, but even if he were to play in close with this guy, I think he'd probably fare well, even as better, maybe as well he is doing on the outside. So I think eventually he might even feel that he could get on the inside a little bit and do some damage. Sometimes you can do more damage on the inside than the outside.
Yeah, I mean, I think Feigenbutz is a bit stronger right now. You don't want to take any chances.
See, like right here.
Bum rushing him and has him up against the ropes.
Watch. See how good he's doing right here? And he's going to be able to counter him. See? That's why he's sitting there. That's exactly what I was talking about.
Most of those shots were being blocked.
That's right.
By Plant. Now they're talking to each other.
Caleb's capable of holding his ground a little bit more and putting the guy in his place.
Well, Feigenbutz was trying to really bum rush him in that fight. You can see Feigenbutz's corner there, the guys in the black t-shirts behind him yelling. They don't like that level of disrespect. But there's only so much you can do. You've got to come in and throw punches.
I used to like to train, my boxers that box. I used to like to really get them very savvy out of the corner and on the ropes. So when guys thought they had you by pinning you on the ropes, they were sadly mistaken. They got beat up on the inside as well as the outside.
Well, he was able to block most of those shots. Yeah, he was able to block those shots, and he can counter. But Feigenbutz, I have to give him credit. He's trying. Look, he's outgunned. He's certainly a class level below, but he is trying to impose his will in this fight.
Oh, yeah. Well, because he's a strong guy, and he knows it. He feels that if he can connect, he can hurt you.
I mentioned he got stopped in one fight 4 years ago, and in that fight against Giovanni Carolis, he got almost knocked off his feet. His feet left the canvas and jumped up in the air. He got spun around. He was out on his feet, but you know what? That fight was stopped. He was still on his feet.
Yeah,
he's a very strong guy.
Yeah, I remember seeing that fight, and the referee, I think, stepped in a little early. Should have given him a little bit more of a break, but
especially in a title fight.
Yeah, because I remember my title fights. I wish the referee could have gave me a little more.
Good jab there by Feigenbutz here in the 6th round.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what happens when Caleb does sit on the ropes like he has, and instead of just blocking all the punches, then coming back with short, cute, quick counter punches.
Malik Waleed there, referee, doing
a great job.
Yeah, that was strong instructions there, where you got a good combination by Plant. And Plant, very sportsmanlike, listening to those instructions, but it takes a strong hand in there to make it clear. Good jab to the head and then body by Caleb Plant. Plant able to slip those jabs easily. Beautiful defensive work by the champ.
And here you see Caleb blocking most of these punches on the ropes. Vincent trying to catch him, but, not getting through. Caleb is showing his ring generalship. And it's Valentine's Day, so he's giving him a couple kisses. Yeah.
The international language of romance.
But that little flurry kind of, is what I'm saying. I think if Caleb would have actually tried to counter off of there, I think he would have been done quite well. So when he does get pinned, I think he should hold his ground, counter more, then get back out and go back to boxing again. But when you do get pinned, don't be so anxious to get out without making the guy pay a little bit for getting close to him.
Yeah, I agree with you. Caleb's just not taking that chance right now. He doesn't need to take that chance. He's doing, like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Both men are ready to go, standing up, and there's the bell. They were both ready, and Feigenbutz standing between rounds the whole time as he tries to get as engaged as possible. Look, he's getting outgunned here. 101-23 in punches landed, according to CompuBox, and that seems to be an accurate reflection of the fight. So Caleb Plant just putting on a tremendous performance here. It's a matter of how much can Vincent Feigenbutz take, and can he cause any damage himself? Marcos Villegas, all 6 rounds so far for Plant.
Great body shot. I got to tell you, you pointed out Malik Waleed, the referee. I think he's doing a great job looking at him, staying out of the action. He's only getting involved when he has to. That's a great referee to me.
Even the way he did that, Joe, just clapping. You don't have to you don't put your hands on him, let him know. He's very demonstrative, and that's what you want in a referee. By the way, I ran into Jack Reese, just behind there as between fights, and I had to say to him, good job on that. Again, Richard Steele for years had to deal with the whole Julio Cesar Chavez, Meldrick Taylor fight, but the referee's job is to be there for the health of the fighter, and he stopped the fight. If you're just joining us, with 1 second to go in the 12th round, Abel Ramos knocking out Brian Perella.
It was an incredible come from behind knockout. He needed a knockout. We called it in the 10th round. We said, look, he needs a knockout to win this fight. It was no doubt. And again, Jack Reese is not the timekeeper. He's the referee.
Right, well put. And Jack Reese doing a very good job, although there'll be some upset people around here and in the Perella camp. That was a good jab by Feigenbutz, by the way.
Look, he's
able to snap Caleb Plant's head back a little bit.
Yeah, he's been really, bum rushing Caleb this round.
And Caleb has to be careful. I mean, you know what I mean? You can't take your eye off the prize. You got to stay focused and make sure your hands are up. You can't get caught by no silly shot right now.
Hard hook there on the top of the head. That could have hurt Feigenbutz.
It looked like it messed up his legs a little bit.
You get off balance, you get hit like that. Tyson Fury got hit in the side of the head. The first knockdown from Deontay Wilder, a week away from that fight. That was the first knockdown in that fight. You get hit there, strange things can happen.
Yeah, Deontay can just breeze by you and hurt you. I mean, he is a powerful guy, but I get what you're saying. But I got to tell you, sometimes when you get a guy that starts getting brave like Feigenbutz is doing, and of course he's brave to begin with, but I'm just saying, just starts trying to put more pressure on you and assert his will on you. Sometimes you got to meet that pressure, like that right there, and not give up so much ground, and just trust in your skills like that. See, I'd like to see Caleb do that more often. Hold his ground and beat him to the punch and stop that pressure that he's putting on.
2 crisp jabs coming from Caleb Plant, though, as he is able to keep the intensity here in round 7. That's the challenge to him so far.
Yeah, Caleb's not having a difficult time moving around. I mean, he does it naturally, and he's using up the whole ring, and this is what he's doing well.
We go back to the corners right now. Again, we are coming off a barn burner of a fight. Brian Perella winning round after round against Abel Ramos. And here in the 12th round, a beautiful uppercut from Ramos, who just looked like, okay, not your night, kid. This is what you were brought for. You're the opponent. Perella is the guy on the way up. But then the second knockdown, Jack Reese started to count. And then from there, asked him to take a step to the side, now take a step toward me. And I'll just throw it in again, Joe Lennox. He had asked him on the previous knockout, take a step toward me. And Perella sort of didn't, but he thought, I don't want to stop the fight. So the second time he said, take a step toward me, and he didn't, he thought, now I have no choice.
You're 100% right. I mean, he did. He gave him every opportunity. And in the second knockdown, when he said, come this way, he kept on walking.
Listen, 259 in the 12th round, 259.
I mean, if you're in the corner of the fighter, that's killing you.
You gotta remember, too, the boxer's concussed at that moment. So he's listening to the ref. Sometimes you can't hear the ref.
And in his defense, Lennox, back in the old days, he didn't say, hey, take a step to the right, now step toward me. He said, just step toward me.
That's right.
Now he was going to do a cartwheel. What do you want from the guy?
That's right. Sometimes they didn't even say step towards me. They just wipe your gloves off. And
like, go get him.
Listen,
that's old days.
As a boxer.
Old days, 2 years ago.
As a boxer, you feel that you're okay, but then your legs is not telling you you're okay.
By the way, Joe, did you hear what you just said to me? Lennox, you're 100% right, Brian. Can you?
You wrote it down.
I wrote it down. I want you to repeat that. Yes, I would like that. And then be ready to repeat that next week.
You can frame it, and I'll autograph.
Thank you. Round 8, Caleb Plant, looking like he is on his way to his second title defense, doing outstanding work against a game and rugged Vincent Feigenbutz of Germany. But it is unlikely he's winning any rounds. Good work there, Feigenbutz jumping in with a 1-2.
And it was a quick one, too. It was straight, too, down the line. And Caleb just, stepped to his side and made the power go to the side.
That was a good jab there. A bunch of those shots were blocked, but not that jab. That was able to split the guard, get right through. Good defensive work as well. Again, this is exciting. His Plant is on the way up. He says he wants greatness. He wants his name to live forever. I mentioned the other champions at 168 pounds. And what is so exciting about that heavyweight title fight is you have the 2 best in the world. All respect to Anthony Joshua, who has one of the belts. And it is exciting for fans to say, hey, this guy isn't just a titleist, he's the champ. And Plant might be the best at 168. Maybe it's Callum Smith. Maybe it's David Benavides. Again, I mentioned Canelo is the middleweight champ, but he can certainly move up. So exciting times here as we are seeing fighters cross the aisles and make great fights. We'll see it next week in the heavyweight division.
Good left combination.
We're clean, hands free.
Yeah, Plant has been using his speed this round and, of course, defensive prowess. as always, but he landed some very, very effective shots against Feigenbutz. But I'll tell you, Feigenbutz is not really being deterred. He keeps coming, and he is throwing hard shots. He's trying right there. He was hooking off the jab earlier, about 30 seconds ago. He's trying to find Plant's head, but he's having a hard time really zeroing in on it.
And very good work by Malik Waleed once again. As they were locked up in the middle, he said, hey, fight out of that, fight clean. Yep, beautifully done. No need to break them up. You don't have to get involved. And the fighters aren't clinching. Let them box.
I agree with you 100% again.
Lennox, hold on. You take it.
I said it with a question mark.
I didn't hear it that way. 100% right again. Final seconds are on, number 8. You take your win to where you can get it. Oh, good hook by Feigenbutz. Going to land that on the cheek of Caleb Plant. See how emboldened he can get with that success. His corner is screaming. Plant trying to answer in the final seconds. Beautiful uppercut by Caleb Plant to punctuate that round. There he is. He's been in Brooklyn a number of years. Again, there is a big Polish community there. And again, the way he boxes, again, he's not going to win a bodybuilding competition, Joe Goosen, but he is a very good and skilled boxer, and he might be a future opponent for one of those champions.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, look, he's undefeated. He's got 15 knockouts out of 20 wins. And you know what he told me in the ring after the Arreola fight? He said, I needed this fight. Now, I think he meant I needed this fight to motivate me to train harder. And if he does do that and trains rigorously, this guy could go all the way, because he's a powerhouse, man, and a moose.
The only thing is, go all the way. To get all the way, you got to beat a guy who's 6'7", or 6'7", or 6'9".
Yeah, he's at a disadvantage in that play.
He's got a great ankle. He's got a great chin, and he's got a good punch, and he's...
Oh, Caleb just caught him real good.
And a right hand as well. Feigenbutz is hurt. His head is getting rocked. Plant comes out under control, but firing. And another hook. He peers in closely in a three-punch combination. Those landed. Beautiful jab as well by Plant. Feigenbutz looks to fire back. Wow. Sharp work from Plant early here in round 9. Lennox, if you're in that situation, you're like, man, I almost had the guy out, but now I'm expending a lot of energy. Do you say, so I just, can I put it into third gear, or do you say, no, let me knock this guy out? What do you think?
No, sometimes you can put it into third gear, like you said, he's tough. You can't take no chances because you could punch yourself out. So you gotta take it easy.
That was a hard jab too. Drove Feigenbutz back. You see the blood on Feigenbutz's face now.
Well, let me tell you, Caleb's trainer told him the right thing. Go out there, start your combinations early, and then kind of throw less combinations as the round ends.
Feigenbutz's face now seeing the effects. He is a very tough guy, and to that end, you wonder, Joe, at what point would his corner think, hey, you know what, we're not winning tonight. What do you think?
Well, yeah.
Are you there or are you not there?
No, listen, look, they're already there. They know he's not winning this fight. The next question is, okay, can we keep this guy safe? Can we keep him from getting...
That's what I'm saying. At what point do you think, hey, you know what, not our night?
Look, it depends on what Caleb Plant does. If Caleb Plant keeps delivering this type of punishment...
And his hard shots again. He stays on his feet. His nose looks broken. There's blood flowing out from Feigenbutz's nose. So he is getting busted up, and you can see Malik Waleed is taking a close look as well. I'm just saying, we're reaching a point. He hasn't won a round. His face is getting rocked and busted up. Maybe you stop this fight at a certain...
Look at him. No, he's still throwing hard punches. He threw 3 jabs. He tried for the right uppercut. Unfortunately for him, Plant spun out on him and avoided the right uppercut. I think the people that will stop it before the referee does will be the corner. Look, he landed a left hook on Caleb. That's the first left hand he's landed on Caleb tonight.
Listen, Caleb is going to
head back, yeah.
Caleb is going to go for it soon. Maybe not now, but he's going to go for it in one of these rounds that's coming up.
Well, he's doing real damage in this round. I mean, he is snapping his head back. It's target practice.
This is what I was talking about earlier, is to start forcing your will on a guy like this. See, he's much slicker on the inside.
Hard body shot by Plant, able to land there. Feigenbutz close now. Look, he's trying. He's extremely game. Good hard body shot again by Plant.
And Caleb's staying close to him now. He's got his confidence back again. He feels good being in there, so he doesn't need to move around that much.
Well, again, he's taking the starch out of him, so he's safer in there because Feigenbutz is just not firing back as hard. He can't.
And they kiss each other again.
Look at his face. I mean, I think that's a broken nose. It's bleeding from the nose. His eyes are swollen.
Now, I think they're having a discussion in that corner right now. You know, if you don't get something done, we're going to stop this fight.
Yeah, which is the step before you get to, I'm going to stop this fight.
Now, on the other hand, what do we got? 10th round coming up right now?
You okay?
Okay, here we go. There's that right hand lead, right over the jab. And then here goes these combinations. Once Plant starts throwing punches and you don't defend yourself, he's going to keep punching. And then he threaded the needle there with that left uppercut to top it off. There's the body shots. So he gets you thinking wide, then he goes up the middle on you, and then he keeps finding new spots. He's got a great variety of punches in his bag.
There's his wife, Jordan. Excited to see her new husband performing so beautifully here tonight. I'm just saying, when I see a head being snapped in 3 different directions within a 30-second period, I'm thinking, how much do we need to see?
But Brian, wait a minute. We saw that with Perella against.
Oh, it was not a beating like this.
What he was doing.
It was not a beating like this, Joe.
What he was doing to Ramos?
He wasn't battering Ramos to that level. Lennox, what do you think?
I think Caleb's going for it right now.
Lennox is ready to move on. All right.
Get that 100% now. It's back to
Caleb is feeling good. He's throwing some great punches and he's throwing some great combinations. And he's feeling the win.
Feigenbutz able to throw an uppercut there and try to answer back, but he eats another body shot. Tell you what, his corner, Feigenbutz's corner, just telling our own Heidi Androl that his nose is not broken. So, all right, he's bloodied up. We'll see what Feigenbutz has to say about that after, and what they'll say at the hospital, because his face is getting busted up.
Again, when Feigenbutz is actually covering up, he's missing some of the punches. He's like, he can't see some of Caleb's punches.
That was a dangerous right hand. You're right, Joe. That was a short right hand right off the shoulder. There's a good right hand by Plant, but Feigenbutz still reasonably dangerous. Look, and it is a world, I understand, I'm not saying, hey, let's stop the fight, a guy's getting hurt. I know that. It's a world championship fight, so you might let it go a little longer. But I'm wondering, when a guy hasn't won a round, you know, you have to start thinking about it.
Oh, Caleb is looking sweet right now with these combinations. He's doing the right thing. He's bringing him to the body and to the head.
And Feigenbutz is getting worn down again in his one loss. He was able to stay on his feet, but got stopped.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Caleb can do what he wants in there right now. He's so far ahead.
Did you see him make that fake and Feigenbutz went for it? It was just, when you can do that to a guy and make him fall for just a simple fake, you know you got him.
Well, it's a tremendous performance. Beautiful uppercut by Plant. Again, he comes off an easy win over Mike Lee, where he dropped him 3 times in the 3rd round. Is he talking to you, Joe?
Yeah.
Say, mixing it up?
Yeah.
What did you call for? What combination?
Well, I think he's doing kind of what we talked about earlier, that, you know, once he gets close to him, he'll just outgun him, he'll outmaneuver him, just like that.
3-punch combination. And then another 3 back-to-back combinations.
If Caleb steps it up, he could stop this man.
Yeah, well, Lead is looking closely. Right hand there by Feigenbutz, answering back. Still a lot of time left in this 10th round. Plant goes to work again.
This is where you can really hurt him.
And Mully says, that's it. That's enough. And I agree.
Like I said,
a virtuoso performance in his hometown. The champion of the world at 168 pounds in Nashville, Tennessee. They get to see their hometown kid come back and be victorious. Extremely impressive work by Caleb Plant.
Very impressive, very impressive. I mean, unbelievable. He did a great job in there. He looked terrific, fast, sweet, good on his feet, great defense. Hey.
What you saw him do, really, he did everything and anything exceptionally well. Inside, outside boxing, defense, counter punching. He's brilliant. He really is.
Respect there for Plant with Feigenbutz's corner. Again, outstanding job there by Plant. Again, they had said, Feigenbutz camp, that there was a lack of respect, the trash talk they're not used to. I don't know what they're reacting to. Plant isn't really that type of guy. Maybe they heard something else, but nothing but respect here. And respect to Feigenbutz as well, who did the best he could and was extremely rugged and eventually needed to be saved from himself.
Yeah,
I mean, and the referee, you got to give it to Malik Waleed. He stepped in at the exact right moment.
I agree.
Let me tell you, he's never seen a boxer like Plant.
No.
So this is the first time, and he got well surprised and schooled in this particular fight.
I'll tell you, Plant has got a really incredible future ahead of him. You just saw him just really do it all from the close quarters to the distance game. He just looked masterful.
He's peaking. I mean, he's 27 years old. Mentioned earlier, he seems to be getting better and better with each fight. He wants to improve.
Let me tell you something. A fight between David Benavides and Caleb Plant.
That can happen too. We've been told, hey, that fight can happen. It would be tremendous.
To me, that's a pay-per-view fight, let me tell you.
Yeah, let me tell you, the speed of those combinations by Plant, unbelievable. Sweet.
That is a hometown success story. It's back here live in Nashville, Tennessee, and Caleb Plant retains his title at 168 pounds. And Lennox Lewis, he just put in beautiful work from the very start, and then it kept increasing the output.
Yeah, this is the shoe shine right now.
Excellent job by Malik Waleed ending this fight. And I agree, Joe Goosen, at the exact right moment when the punishment was just too much.
Yeah, that last uppercut is what got Malik Waleed's attention, and he jumped in. That head snapped back.
There it is, the IBF belt. Caleb Plant, respect between the kid from Nashville and the man from Karlsruhe, Germany, who came in. Total punches landed 202 to 47 in favor of the champion, Caleb Plant. Power punches, wow, 152 to 19. It was all Caleb Plant, seemingly winning every single round. Just a commanding performance as Caleb Plant retains his title. Here's Jimmy Lennon.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes, 23 seconds in round number 10. A referee in charge, Malik Waleed, stops the contest. He is the winner by way of technical knockout, and still the undefeated IBF Super Middleweight Champion of the World, Sweet Hands, Caleb Plant.
Let's go to Heidi Androl in the ring. Heidi is there with the champion, Caleb Plant.
Thank you very much. We've got your grandfather, your father by your side for this historic moment for you, defending your title here at home in front of this crowd that was on their feet in the third round chanting Sweet Hands. How much did they fuel you in this fight?
Say again?
How much did they fuel you in this fight?
Oh man, I was super fueled. I could have went all night. The whole city came out. Nashville, stand up!
Caleb, that ninth round, you came out with the frenetic pace. You hurt him. You knew it was just a matter of time. You said it was going to be the jab. It was the jab, but it was also the combinations, the uppercuts. How confident and how great did you feel out there tonight?
Man, I felt great. I was relaxed, sharp. I told you guys I was going to stop this fight before the 12th round. I want to dedicate this fight to my daughter, Aaliyah, who's in heaven. I want to dedicate this fight to my mother. I want to dedicate this fight to my grandfather and dedicate this fight to the whole city of Nashville.
Certainly an incredible crowd here. A lot of hometown support for you. I know this is your 20th win to start 2020. How would you like to see the rest of the year progress?
Everybody knows I want that unification fight with David Benavides. You know who the best 168-pounder is. If you want that, you got to come see me. I've been wanting that fight. I've been asking for it, and I'm tired of waiting.